Forever, grading exams has been this mountain of paperwork for educators, right? It's a necessary evil, a totally grueling task. But what if that entire system, all that red ink and late nights, was on the verge of a massive change? Well, today, we're going to look at how technology, and AI in particular, is set to completely flip the script on university grading. So let's dive in and see what's happening.
So just think about this for a second. What if grading wasn't just this massive administrative headache? This chore that just eats up time. What if it could actually become a real asset, like a source of powerful insights that makes teaching and learning way better? That's really the big idea we're going to explore. All right, Section 1, the grading gauntlet. And that's a good name for it. Before we get to the cool solutions, we've got to understand the problem. For so many universities, the old way of grading has just become this real challenge, a mess of logistical and academic headaches.
And this really lays out the clash, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got the old school manual grading. It's slow, it's inconsistent depending on who's grading, and let's face it, humans make mistakes. But then, on the other hand, you have what modern universities actually need. They're dealing with way more students, hybrid classes. They need something that can scale up, something that's transparent, and something that gives them real data. The old way, it just can't hang. It's totally unsustainable.
Okay, on to our next section, a digital revolution. So the big question is, how do you fix that mismatch we just talked about? Well, the answer starts with a huge shift in how things are done, taking the entire grading process and moving it online. And trust me, this is about way more than just convenience. It's a complete revolution for how we do assessments. So what does this new digital workflow actually look like in practice? It's honestly pretty brilliant in its simplicity. Step 1, every single exam gets submitted to one central, organized place. Yep, no more stacks of paper everywhere. Step 2, the system takes over. All those multiple choice questions graded instantly. And for written stuff, there are digital rubrics to guide the marker. And then, step 3, boom! Results and all that valuable feedback gets sent out to students with just a click. Just like that huge pile of repetitive manual work, it just vanishes.
And the efficiency gains here are just huge. Seriously, think about the countless hours saved just by auto-grading objective questions or not having to mess with manual grade spreadsheets. It's a game changer. For professors, this means they get their time back. Time they can spend on what they're actually there to do, teaching, doing research, and connecting with students, not getting buried in administrative busywork.
Now for our third section, beyond faster, fairer and smarter. Because look, making things faster is great, but that's really just the beginning. The real magic happens when you realize that going digital makes the whole process fundamentally fairer, way more consistent, and just a lot smarter. So how do you make it fairer? Well, the key here is something called a digital rubric. You can just think of it as a standardized set of evaluation rules that's literally built right into the grading system. And what this does is make sure that every single student is being graded by the exact same measures. It doesn't matter if you're in one professor's class or another's. The rules are the same for everyone. It's all about that consistency. And this quote really hits the nail on the head. Ensuring uniform grading standards among multiple professors. If you've ever been at a big university, you know this struggle. You have tons of instructors teaching the same course. How do you make sure that an A from one professor means the same thing as an A from another? It's a huge challenge. But these digital systems with their shared rubrics, they just solve that problem straight up.
This whole thing also has massive implications for academic integrity. Think about it. Every single grade is documented. It's time-stamped, it's recorded, it's traceable. You have this secure digital paper trail for everything. And that creates a super transparent and defensible record, which is absolutely crucial when it comes to things like grade appeals or, and this is a big one, for university accreditation, where you have to prove that you're maintaining high standards.
All right, Section 4, grading as an insight engine. And I'm not going to lie, this is my favorite part. This is where we go beyond just grading and see how this process can transform into this incredible engine for generating real, actionable academic insights. This is where things get really cool.
Okay, just look at this example here. At a single glance, a professor can see, wow, okay, pretty much everyone nailed question 1. But whoa, look at question 3. A lot of people really struggled there. See, that's not just a score anymore. It's a bright, flashing signal. It tells the professor exactly which topic didn't land, what concept needs to be taught again. Getting that kind of instant, detailed feedback is an absolute game changer for being a better teacher.
And then, when you zoom out from a single class to the whole university, the strategic potential is just massive.
We're talking about being able to spot at-risk students way earlier in the semester. You can map how students are doing against specific learning goals. You can even track trends over multiple years. This allows administrators to make smart, data-driven decisions about the curriculum instead of just going on a hunch. Basically, assessment stops being a final judgment and starts being a tool for constantly getting better.
Okay, let's talk about the final piece of the puzzle. Section 5, enter the AI Copilot. So we've seen the move from manual to digital, and from just collecting data to actually getting insights. Now we're adding the final, most advanced layer to this whole thing, bringing in an artificial intelligence copilot to help with the grading.
Now let's be super clear about something. The AI is not here to replace the professor. Not at all. Think of it as a really smart assistant. For instance, it can scan a written answer, look for key concepts, and see how well it lines up with the rubric. It can even spot weird patterns, like if a grader is being a little tougher on a Friday afternoon compared to how they were on a Tuesday morning. It's all about providing support, helping to generate useful feedback, and making the whole process quicker and even more reliable.
So, what's the bottom line here? It's actually pretty simple. When you bring together a slick digital platform with a smart AI assistant, grading completely stops being this massive burden. Instead, it becomes the streamlined, data-driven process that actually boosts academic quality and helps the whole university run a lot smoother. It's a win-win.
And all of this leaves us with one last big question to think about. If you take away the heavy administrative weight of grading from educators, and you arm them with these incredible real-time insights into how their students are actually learning, well, what does teaching become then? What kind of amazing new possibilities does that open up for the entire future of education? Something to think about.